Sit down. Let me gist you. This one happened in Ghana. And before I even start, I want you to take a deep breath. Because the gist I'm about to drop on you is the kind that makes you question whether the rest of the world really sees us as equal or just as a problem to be filtered out. You know the 2026 FIFA World Cup is happening this June, right? June 11th to July 19th, co-hosted by America, Canada, and Mexico. The biggest World Cup in history, 48 teams, 104 matches. And after years of pain, our Black Stars qualified. Yes, Ghana is going to the World Cup again. We're in Group 1 with Panama, England, and Portugal. 2 of our games will be played on American soil. 2 huge matches that millions of Ghanaians have been dreaming about for years. So what did Ghanaian fans do? What every passionate supporter would do. They started preparing. They saved money. They booked flights. They printed Black Stars jerseys. They started learning city names. Boston, Philadelphia, New York, and they walked into the United States Embassy in Accra to apply for visas. That's where the heartbreak began. Veteran Ghanaian sports journalist Ibrahim Sani Dara, former communications director of the Ghana Football Association, went on Facebook on Monday, May 11th, 2026, and dropped a bombshell that left the country speechless. He said, and these are the numbers, 150 Ghanaian supporters applied for U.S. visas to attend the World Cup. Only 3 got approved. 147 people denied. That's a 2% success rate. 98% rejected. And Sani didn't sugarcoat it. He said the U.S. Embassy didn't just deny visas. They played a low block, counter-pressed, and eliminated 147 supporters before kickoff. But it gets worse. Sani's deeper checks revealed that over 400 Ghanaians in total have been denied visas. Fans, football officials, even club owners. People with proper documents. People with bank accounts. People with families. People with businesses in Ghana. People who had every reason to come back home after the matches. All denied. And here's the painful part. The rejection letters they received didn't even give real reasons. They said things like, "You were not convincing or impressive during your interview." Not convincing. Not impressive. Charlotte, imagine traveling all the way from Tamale to Accra, paying for a visa appointment, standing in that long line at the embassy, answering questions in a small room, then being told you're not impressive enough to watch your own country play in a football tournament. Now let me give you the broader context, because this one is bigger than just Ghana. Earlier this year, the Trump administration introduced something called the Visa Bond Pilot Program. Fans from 50 countries were going to be forced to pay between $5,000 and $15,000 as a deposit before being allowed into America. 5 African countries with qualified teams were on that list: Algeria, Cape Verde, Ivory Coast, Senegal, and Tunisia. Ghana wasn't on that bond list. We escaped that one. Then, on May 13th, 2026, after global pressure, the U.S. announced they would waive the bond for fans who had registered through the FIFA Pass system before April 15th. So those 5 African countries got relief. But here's the cruel twist for Ghana. Even though we weren't on the bond list, our fans are still being rejected outright, without the bond, without the chance to even pay. Other African countries got told, pay $15,000 and you can come. Ghana got told, you're not impressive. Go home. Which one hurts more? President Mahama himself, back in February, gave a State of the Nation address where he begged Ghanaians not to travel and overstay their visas. He said, it has taken a lot of work to restore Ghana's 5-year non-immigrant visas and take us off the ban list. He warned that if thousands of Ghanaians travel to America and refuse to come back, we'll be pushed back onto that ban list again. So the U.S. Embassy heard him. And they responded by treating every Ghanaian football fan like a potential illegal immigrant. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has been engaging the U.S. and Canada for months. Minister Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa met with Acting Ambassador Rolf Olsen and Canadian Acting High Commissioner Dennis Roussel. They've been pushing for special visa arrangements for Ghanaian fans. So far, nothing has changed. Sani Dara summed it up with one painful line. He said, At this rate, the Black Stars may have more players in America than Ghanaian fans in the stands. And he's not joking. Imagine watching Ghana versus Portugal at a stadium in Philadelphia, with English fans, Portuguese fans, Panamanian fans all roaring around you, and only a tiny scattered group of Ghanaians in the corner waving the flag. Imagine our boys scoring a goal at the World Cup, looking up at the stands and not seeing the sea of red, gold, and green that has powered them since their childhood. That's what's about to happen. Unless something changes. But here's the deeper question this just forces us to ask. Why is it so hard for Ghanaians to travel? Why do our passports get treated like criminal records? Why do honest fans get punished for the actions of people who overstayed years ago? The answer is uncomfortable, but it's true. Until Ghana becomes a country where people don't feel desperate to leave, the world will keep treating our travelers like flight risks. The visa wall isn't just about America. It's about everything that's been pushing young Ghanaians out of their own country for decades. So while we wait for the embassy to open the door, let's also work on making sure the next generation has no reason to want to escape this place at all. Share this gist, tag the U.S. Embassy if you have the courage, and keep cheering for the Black Stars, even from your living room.